Hi, and welcome to Spotlight on Bensenville. My name is Frank DeSimone, your village president and your host for this evening. Tonight we'll be discussing our popular event, Music in the Park and Car Show, with our special guest, Bob Flood, Assistant Director of Recreation. Bob, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Let's start off right off the bat. How long has the village been hosting this event?
This will be our 26th year doing Music in the Park. It'll be our 25th year in the current spot in downtown Bensenville. The village has always tried to bring in great acts, the best, most popular acts, and we're trying to continue that tradition this year, as well as supplementing it with other things to kind of show people what downtown Bensenville and what the town's all about.
Can you tell us what the dates and the times that Music in the Park will take place?
First date will be June 14th. That's our kickoff. We're going to do the Chicago Tribute Anthology is going to open it up for us, and then we'll run straight through every Wednesday until August 30th. We will be off July 5th because we're focusing on Liberty Fest that week, but we run for 12 weeks and 11 weeks of bands with the one off day in July.
I know that it gets pretty crowded down there, and we have many seniors in town that would like to attend the event. Do we have a special area for them that they can use?
We always set up seating for the seniors. The village kind of keeps a special amount of chairs on the van just in case we get that attraction. I'll oftentimes get calls from Bridgeway, and they'll often bring out a bus to transport everybody. So there's always at least 10 to 15 seats available for the seniors. They're first come, first serve, obviously. But we always like to entertain residents of all ages.
I know we kind of tweak it and try to improve it every year. Will the format be the same this year?
For the most part, yeah. We're not doing the French Market anymore. We kind of tried that out as an experiment a couple of years ago. And really what it showed me was that this is more of a music crowd. It's tough to kind of draw people to do the shopping as well as, and once the show starts, the vendors seemingly were a little lonely because, like I said, people tend to come to town for the music. So we kind of cut back on the French Market this year. We're not going to do it. We're kind of reverting to the old way where it's going to be all the local restaurants set up on the one side of the street and just try to focus on expanding the local businesses in town.
What type of music is Music in the Park going to be geared toward?
I found it's a classic rock kind of town, but we got a little bit of everything. We have some of our old favorites that are here every year. American English, representing the Beatles. Seventh Heaven, which plays a litany of different kinds of music. But we also have some old Johnny Cash cover bands. We have, the Libido Funk Circus, which plays many different eras of music. It's generally the kind of music that's focused anywhere as early as the 1950s with Elvis, all the way right up until today.
Now, do we have a lineup and what it looks like? Do we have a
Absolutely.
listing?
The flyers are available on the website now. Like I said, we're getting kicked off with the Chicago Tribute Anthology. I wanted to bring back some old favorites. Ara's coming back. They hadn't been here in a couple of years. I booked the Neverly Brothers again because I was surprised, and I don't remember talking last year the night of their show. They play older music, but it was such a diverse crowd in age. I mean, there were teenagers there, lots of them, just there for the music. So, like I said, we're trying to continue to represent different types of music as well as things that'll please people of all age.
What are some of the other activities you have planned?
Well, we want to make sure that we're providing something for the whole family. We'll have giveaways. We had the T-shirts last year, which kind of featured the bands on the back. We have a couple different kinds of T-shirts this year. One's a Music in the Park shirt. One is just a Bensenville, Illinois shirt. It's a really neat design that Anthony came up with down in our graphics department. And, we're just going to, like I said, try to promote the village as best as we can. We'll have the bounce houses, things like that. We're looking into some other things like face painters, balloon-shaped things that'll kind of entertain younger and maybe even older kids. I mean, who doesn't love having their face painted? But ultimately, like I said, I want the focus to kind of be on some of the businesses, the people who've been with us for a long time. We're obviously opening the Green Street Grill. We want to have, make sure we drive traffic there, keep two chefs crowded in their beer garden, because the way the gardens kind of flank the area is a nice added bonus for guests who may not want to sit in the park, maybe have something to eat at Bob's or over at the grill, and just kind of be able to enjoy it from outdoors.
I hear a rumor that I'm going to be saving my arm this year throwing out T-shirts. I heard we have, is it a top secret thing, or can we release it?
I'm glad you brought it up. We bought a T-shirt cannon.
Nice.
It's emblazoned with the Bensenville logo, and it's funny you say that because I didn't want to put too much power in it. And there might be days where you might want to revert to the old arm tosses because you were raining them into all corners last year, and depending on the size of the crowd, I'm not sure the cannon can reach all those areas. So
I heard we have to have special
both.
training on the cannon before we can use it.
We're gonna, go through the effects of CO2, all that stuff. But it's kind of a nice bonus, not just for Music in the Park, but for Liberty Fest, other events. Like I said, it's helping to spread and instill more pride in the village.
Absolutely.
Able to put the logo, the name of the town on things, and just kind of let people who live here represent us on their own time.
Absolutely. Is there a charge for this event?
No, everything's free as far as the music. Of course, if you want snacks or anything, they obviously charge the local restaurants. But for the most part, you can just come out, find a parking space, pull up a chair. You know, people line up their chairs pretty early.
Yeah, get there early,
Depending on the band, sometimes they're there at 9 a.m. But we, of course, want everybody to come out for free, which is a very special thing that the village does, and I'm thankful to be a part of it.
How can people find out more about our event and the dates and the locations and times and everything? How can they find that out?
I mean, you can go to the village website at www.bensonville.il.us, or you can call me directly. I have been sending copies of the flyer to everybody since it's been printed. You know, I get 7 to 10 calls every wintertime saying, hey, let me know when. Because it's, like I said, it's a dedicated following. And if they don't go to the website, they can call me directly. My office is at the Edge Ice Arena. They can even stop by and see me if they want. But my phone number directly is 630-594-1134, and I'd be happy to answer any questions they have.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
The Water's Edge Aquatic Center is conveniently located in the Redmond Recreational Complex in Bensonville. The Water's Edge is home of Fenton High School and Wahoo swim teams, featuring an indoor 8-lane lap pool and diving well. The Aquatic Center is available for private functions and parties. Learn to swim, stay in shape, or enjoy recreational swimming year-round at the Water's Edge Aquatic Center.
The Bensonville Community Library, serving a community of readers. Whether you're old or young, a lover of words, music, or computers, the library has something for you. Check out our new Kindles, toddler jams, story and movie nights, or a variety of other activities offered. For more information, call us at 630-766-4642 or check out our schedule on the web at benlib.org. The Bensonville Community Library, celebrating 50 years of library service.
Hello and welcome back to Spotlight on Bensonville. My name is Frank DeSimone, Village President, and your host this evening. Tonight we are discussing music in the park with Bob Flood, Assistant Director of Recreation. Bob, Will there be food and beverages at this event?
Absolutely. That's part of the fun. We've had several partners who've been with us for a long time. Bella Vista Banquets always has a tent, two chefs, like I said, La Quebrada and El Torreo. Those have been the 4 or 5 mainstays that I've had the last couple of years. But we're also, I've reached out to some of the businesses in the Irving Park corridor. Obviously, they've been extremely patient with the construction, and we want to reward them as best as we can. So I spoke with Daniel over at La Michoacana to sell some ice cream and things out there, which I think will be exciting. It adds kind of a little sweets factor. And if anybody else is interested, of course, they can get in touch with me at the Edge, and I'd be happy to let them know how to do it.
In the classic car show part of this event, can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's something we've done for a long time. It's got a dedicated following. We used to compete with other villages on Wednesday nights, and since they have closed theirs, ours has really become a first come, first served kind of event. Generally, the cars, we ask that cars not line up until 5:30 p.m. Sometimes they're a little more anxious than that. But generally, we park them right there on Green Street, in between Center and Addison. We can allow for some overflow on Addison at times. We actually, now the Green Street Grill is open. We've had a dedicated bunch in that parking lot the last couple of years who may be coming earlier, so you may have to get a little competitive. But it's a great chance we got a lot of car people in town, and a lot of car fans from out of town that come by. It's a nice chance for them to check out some of the different models, old muscle cars, things like that. And all we ask in return is no skateboards, no bicycles. You want to protect the integrity of the vehicle.
Right.
So, we ask that people, look but don't touch. Some of them will play some classic, old school 1950s rock and roll in the cars. And it's really a special thing, both aesthetically and in person, because it's a very unique kind of thing to the village.
How can our residents participate in the car show?
Well, all they have to do is pull up. We kind of let people do it on their own.
First come, first serve, right?
Exactly. And like I said, depending on who the band is, the bigger the crowd. Sometimes the crowds will spill into the street, and that's why we close the streets off. But the sooner you get there, the better. We close the streets at 6. So we would encourage people, if they get off work at 5, to maybe make the drive down and try to get there as best as they can. We do what we can to accommodate the extra vehicles. There's always space in the village lot. And sometimes we'll close Addison, like I said, if necessary. But ultimately, there's only so many spots.
How many people usually attend Music in the Park?
Depending on the bands, I think we get anywhere from maybe 1,000 to sometimes 3,000. The bands like 16 Candles, who's one of the premier bands in Chicago area at this time. Bands like Seven Heaven always pack a huge crowd. We'll get 3,000 people on some of those, and it's great for business. It's great for the village and the spirit that people have when those bands. There's always an electricity when there's a big crowd at any event.
Right.
So generally, that's kind of where we run through, but sky's the limit. I won't stop if 4,000 show up.
How can more people find out about Bensenville's 2017 Music in the Park?
Like I said, you can go to the village to print off the village flyer. It'll list all the bands. It's got information about the car shows and things like that. Or they can call me directly at 630-594-1134. Email, of course, is always good too. My email is bflood, B as in Bob, last name Flood, at bensenville.il.us. And like I said, I get requests on my cell phone when I'm out of the office, on the phone when I'm in the office. No time is a bad time to ask any questions about the event, because we love to have people in.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for the information.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week for Spotlight on Bensenville.